Hi, today we're going to show you how to establish and maintain a sterile field. First, what we would do is introduce ourselves to our client, and then we would get their two identifying factors, their name and their date of birth. We would perform hand hygiene, of course, and then we would also provide privacy for the client as well. We're going to start by opening a sterile package. We're going to place the package in our work area, so the top flap of the wrapper is going to be open away from us. Okay, so first we're going to open the top flap, making sure to pinch the tip and open it away from us. So now we can't cross this field anymore. Now we're going to open the side flap, one, and then we'll open the side flap on the other. And then we'll open the last one. Make sure to open towards us. Okay, now we're going to show you how to establish a sterile field with the drape. Okay, we have the package for our drape, and we're going to open that package. Now we're going to get the tip, one corner, and we're going to let it open up all the way with making sure not to touch anything. And then we're going to get another corner on the other corner. We're going to make sure to have the bottom away from us whenever we lay it on, flat on the table. And that's how we add the drape to our work area. Now we're going to get any necessary supplies that we would need, and we're going to make sure to be careful that we don't touch the drape with our hands. So we're gonna act like we're gonna use this to open, and we're gonna make sure that it's, we open it away from the sterile field. And we're gonna grasp it with one corner. With our free hand, we're gonna have it lay against our wrist, and then we would open up the package. And we place the sterile items at an angle rather than holding it like over the sterile field. We'll just put the so we'll make sure to put the sterile items on the drape. And then we would discard all of our items, all of our trash. Okay, now we're going to show you how to do a solution with a sterile bowl. We have our drape already. We're going to place our sterile bowl on the drape. Then we're going to get our solution. And before we pour the solution, we're going to read this label 3 times, making sure that the correct solution and the concentration is correct for our procedure. We'll remove the lid or the cap, and then we'll invert the lid, and then we'll place it on a surface that is not in our sterile field. And then we'll hold the bottle so that the label is against our palm. Hold the bottle of liquid at a height about 10 to 15 centimeters over the bowl and to the side of the sterile field, so that we're have as little contamination or well, no contamination, and make sure to have a little have the bottle in the field as little as possible, of course. And then we're going to pour the solution gently to avoid any splashing, and then we'll tilt the neck of the bottle back to vertical quickly when pouring so that none of the solution flows onto the bottle outside of the bottle. And if we're going to use the bottle again, we'll place the cap securely, and we'll write the label on the label, the date and the time that we opened it. Okay. Now we're going to do sterile forceps. Okay. When you use sterile forceps in our hands for sterile supplies, forceps are used to move the articles to one place or to another. If the forceps tips are wet, we keep the tip lower than our wrist at all times, unless we're wearing sterile gloves. So we're gonna, whenever we get our sterile objects that we need, we're gonna make sure to hold them above our waist or at the table level, whichever one is higher. Because if the items were below that, they would be considered contaminated. We'll hold the sterile forceps within our sight, of course, because if we would happen to turn our backs, we wouldn't know if these were still in the sterile field or not. Now we're going to have the forceps. We're going to get our supplies with our forceps. We're going to make sure that we don't touch the outside. of the bag. Then we'll grab our sterile supply that we need, and then we'll deposit the sterile item on a sterile field without permitting the moist forceps to touch the sterile field when the surface under the absorbent field is unsterile and a sterile drape is not used. And then we would document our sterile technique and the performance that we use for the procedure. Thank you very much.